In this video, let's talk about troubleshooting. But one common question that I have is how can you be sure that this is failing or this is the root cause or this is the problem? So basically, there is one application called SOS, and the main goal of this application is to collect a bunch of information of your system, create a simple tarball file, and in a way that you as a customer can upload this SOS report to your support case. In a way, whenever the engineer gets this SOS report, they can see a lot of information. So the main idea of this video is to show how SOS works in a way that we can collect the information and see together like some configuration files, what can we find, what can we figure it out, understand, and at the end of the day, figure out the issue and also eventually the root cause. So let's go to the video. To start, let me show you this link. This is the GitHub of SOSReport. Definitely you can jump in this organization, and there are some specific repositories. The main one is this SOS. I open it in the second tab. This is a Python application, which is pretty powerful. You can definitely contribute if you would like to. You can see all the information, all the description. Basically, this is amazing. This is insane. This helps a lot. I can tell you for sure. If you're looking forward to install this in your machine, you can definitely use the source code, or you can use DNF install SOSReport. For the Linux box like Fedora or RHEL, definitely you can install using this one. If you have Debian, apt install SOSReport, or Ubuntu, sudo apt install SOSReport. Okay, I will not spend too much time here on this page. Let's come to this one. I'm gonna resize this a little bit. SOS, I have no SOS. So DNF search SOS. I can see the SOS coming. I know that. And there you go. SOS no work, a set of tools to gather troubleshoot information from a system. DNF install SOS. Basically, this is the step necessary to install this package. And you can see there are some dependencies, Python 3, pexpect, and pty process. SOS has a lot of components, a lot of modules that you can enhance the amount of data that you collect. I will not cover this in this video, but let me show you this. We can just type SOS. So basically, SOS is going to tell me, hey, what do you want? Report, clean, cleaner, mask, help, collect. We would like to SOS report because I would like to collect files and command output in an archive. So I can run SOS report. This is gonna present some information and we'll say, hey, press enter to continue or Ctrl+C to quit. Eventually, if you're working in a support case with Red Hat, you can put something like the case number in a way that this will be associated directly to the case and will be easy to track. But you can type anything here if you wish. But if you're not working with a support case, you can type anything. That's okay. Basically, what is happening now is this application will collect a lot of information. We'll see also, we have some standard modules that will be collected. As you can see here, the number is 102. And FA policy D is one of them, 22. File system, one of them. Firewall D, another one. So you can see that we have a bunch of modules. SOSReport is just passing through the machine, collect the information, executing some commands. And at the end of the day, this will create a single file that you can just upload to your support case and send to the professional that will be handling your case. Let's wait for this to finish, and then I'm going to show you some nice stuff. Here we can see the file was created properly and in this path. So basically this is everything that you need to pass or to send over to your support case. We can see the size of the file, the owner, and also the checksum of this file. So, okay, let me do this. SOSReport. I'm going to create a folder over here. Let's access this folder. And I'm going to copy that file to this place. I'm going to create Wally. And I will export this file, tar xvf and the root folder will be Wally. Cool. So this is the folder structure of that SOS report. So basically we can see, let me clean up. We can see SOS report. This is the name of the server. In this case, I executed on this machine as well. So the short name, set02, and we have the case number, and we have the date, the timestamp, today's date. And from here, let's access this folder. And there are some links, there are some structures, some folders that are very important. I would like to start from those over here, like SOS logs and SOS reports. And why is that, Wally? So let's take a look. This is all the command that was executed by the SOS report when creating the file. So this will give you some ideas about what's going on. So you can see alternatives -- version. This is one output, display, Apache CTL -s -t. You can see some logs, var log, see the output of your dev using those flags. So lsblk to check the disk, different variants, different options. So this is definitely something interesting that will help you to understand which kind of information you can find in this folder or in this file, this structure, like Flatpak, see ping. Even when running this command, we can see the output of the ping. The machine was pinging itself just to see if this was resolving the name, the IP address, if the IP address is accurate. We have also information about satellite or foreman. So let me get your attention to this one, plugin. So let's come back to the top. This is the plugin alternatives. So anything about alternatives will be here. And then this is a plugin of Apache. So remember, I told that we have different plugins. So this is the way that you can see like Apache, Audit, Block, DNF, File System, Flatpak, Foreman, Grafana, Host, Java, Kernel. This is amazing. This is pretty cool. And definitely this is going to help you to understand better, improving your knowledge about CLI. Because basically this is 100% CLI. The way that we collect information, the way that we extract this information from the system, ETA2, just to get some information from loopback, from the interface, bridge, and MCLI, see? Podman, Postgres, Postfix, Popcore, amazing, amazing. So SOS logs was one, and we can take a look on SOS reports. Let me take a look on TXT. Similar idea, see, alternatives. So I have the name, commands executed, Anaconda, files copied. We have those files in this specific structure. Anacron, file copied. So we have this file, files copied, commands executed. This is friendly because you can see for each module or plugin which one was executed, like the command that was executed or the file that was copied. Here you can see all the plugins that was loaded, alternatives, Anaconda, Anacron, Apache, all of them. About alternatives, commands executed, so we can see all the commands. Anaconda, files copied, all those files. Eventually you have both, like Apache, commands executed, this one, and files copied, those over here. So again, this is gold. This is insane and definitely helpful to understand what's going on. Okay, with that said, I can come back to the top level and we can start digging. Like, what is the host name of this machine? This is the host name. What is the IP address? And you can see that I have IP address and route. So if I take a look on my IP address, let me clean up the screen. We can see the interface, this one, we have the IP address, we have the broadcast. If I get my route, I can see all the information about my subnet, my network, my default router, this one, going through this interface. Let me go further, var log. anything underneath my var log from my system will be here. For sure, we don't copy everything because eventually you can see some var log with 20 gigs, 30 gigs, 100 gigs. So it is not ideal to collect the whole information. Eventually we'll remove some stuff, but the latest version, the latest information will be here. So let's say that I would like to see the message. So I can see what's going on this machine, see? And eventually I can grab by error on my message. And then there you go. I have some errors here, some sort of authentication that was not working. So this is the kind of troubleshooting that we can do. This machine has satellite. So I have some additional folders like foreman, and then I have my production.log. And from here, I can see everything from my production.log. Let me see if I have some error. I don't, but let me share the first bonus. Zcat is the way that I can see the content of this gzip file without the necessity of extracting the file. So zcat on this one, for instance, I can see that guy. So I can pass zcat on that file. I can see that content. The main tip here is if I try to run zcat against my flat file, this is gonna fail. So there is a trick that you can do, passing -f. So -f is gonna work to file, and also is gonna work for the zip file or compressed file. So in this way, I can do something like this. This is gonna show all the content for all the production.log, the file, flat file, and also for the rotated files. And now let's see if we can find some error. I hope so. There we go. We can see some errors and they are here. And from here, we can move it on. We can see what's going on, what is causing the problem. But you got the point. Like, I'm the same machine, but even if I have this log in a different machine, I'm not checking the original files. I'm checking the files that are underneath this structure. So now what I can do is I can start reading the files, collecting all the information, and start connecting the dots, you know? Let's suppose that this machine has some sort of disk problem. There is another folder here, very important, SOS commands. So this is gorgeous. This one I like the most because here you can find a lot of stuff, good stuff. So let's suppose that I have some question about my disk and I would like to see the information about the disk. So ls-OK, we can see the disk structure. Like this disk is at 300 gigs. We have the first one, VDA with 1 gig, and it is mounted as boot. I can see my second one, VDA2, 300 gigs or 299 gigs, 1 gig was here. From this one, we can see this is a logical volume, LVM. This has 70 gigs mounted as root. This has 10 gigs mounted as swap. And this has 219-ish mounted as home. So this gives me some idea. Let's suppose that this machine has no storage, no disk available, and this home is not in use. So definitely I can get rid of this logical volume and I can move all this storage to my root file system, for instance. And from here, I can see some additional information or variants about ls-OK. So for instance, passing the parameter -d, and then you can see the alignment, the disk, some information about disk. Let's try another one, -f. See, this has the label, the version, file system type, available, mount point. So according to the necessity, you can see which file will provide the best information to you. And yet in this folder, you can see fdisk. So fdisk dev VDA. Let's suppose that I would like to know the structure of that disk. I can just list and then I can see VDA1, VDA2, I can see the start and end sectors, the size, ID, the type, pretty useful. Let me show you another one, DNF. Let's suppose that I would like to see if this machine is connecting properly to the repository. DNF-C repo list. It seems to be, but I would like to see with some additional verbosity. Then we have this one. And then, yes, I can tell you for sure that this machine was able to reach out the CDN and get the information, because this information is coming from the CDN, the metadata. This seems to be fine. Is this machine registered, or is this like some sort of cache? I don't know. So how can I see that? We have subscriptions or subscription manager. Under subscription manager, I can see my subscription manager identity. And then there you go. This is my identity of this machine. This is the name of this machine. This is the organization name, organization ID. So yes, I can tell you for sure, checking this log file, that this machine is registered properly against probably the customer portal because of this information. And we also can see that this machine has the information properly coming from the CDN. So it seems to be fine. If I would like to be sure about the place, if this machine is getting content from the CDN or satellite, I can do a double check on etc rhsm rhsm.conf. And then, yes, this is telling me that this machine is registered against customer portal. I can scroll down and see the base URL. This is getting content from cdn.red.com, which is good, not satellite. And the certificate here is from Red Hat uep.pem, which is from the customer portal. So yes, this machine is registered against the customer portal. See, this set of information that is coming from SOSReport can tell us a lot of details, a lot of information, and a lot of issues. Let me show you more. var log candlepin. Candlepin is one component of satellites. If I would like to see all the errors of candlepin, I can check error log. And today is 18. I can go straight to the bottom and see 17. Yesterday, I can see some warning, some connection timeout. And then, okay, is this a problem? Is this something that we can fix? See, I'm just getting this information from the logs, and then I can go to my satellite, my lab machine, and do some comparisons. I can check what's going on, but again, this tells us a lot. Let's come back to the main one. You can see that we have some links over here, and just to facilitate, if you like to get some information, you don't need to go to SOS command PCI, kernel, this kind of stuff. You can just see the most common commands just on the top level of your structure, but the files will be there as well. Okay, once you have all the information that you need, there you go. This is the time that you will send back this information to your customer, and you say, okay, I can see the problem. This is the problem. In general, what I like to do is, based on this SOS report, I will not be looking for all the errors. I will ask you, what is the error that you are facing? What is the problem of your server? If you tell me, okay, I have errors related to my storage, I know which files I should be checking. If you tell me I have problems with my satellite, I know which files I should be checking. I have problems with my boot process, I know which files I should be checking. It is different. I will not be checking all the files. I will be checking the files based on the problem that you have. Okay, this is the main point of this SOS report. Another thing that I like here is, and this is some additional tips, find .-iname, and then let's suppose that I'm looking for journal. Any file that has journal in the name, I can get easily with this command. So I don't have to remember all of them. I can just type this command, and then, there you go. This is a configuration file. However, this one is not. So I can see the content of this journal. I can see some systemd related to journal. If my problem is related to service and systemd, so those are probably the guys. But let's suppose that I would like to see some systemd information. I can definitely take a look on this one, and voila. And let's suppose that on this one, I would like to filter some stuff about Pope. And let's be more specific. Pope core content. There you go. And I can narrow down just to see the information I'm looking for. See? But we have the journal, we have this information, which is pretty good. Another tip, and this is amazing. Let's suppose that I'm looking for something like proxy, and I have no idea. Like I have this machine is not working fine. I'm facing some problems with proxy, but this machine should not have proxy. And I would like to see if there is anywhere with proxy. So instead of be following each file, check each file, open each file, I like this the most. grep-r proxy star on the top level of your SOSReport. What this is gonna do is this is gonna check proxy everywhere. Any place that see proxy will bring out the information. And then, okay, we have this one because of the form on proxy, and this is coming from var log secure. This is not what I'm looking for, and this is too much, you see. Let me scroll up. We have a lot of proxy. Eventually you face things like this. This is too much, and you can start like parsing, or you can do things like this. etc, because this is my configuration file, and then proxy. I will not be passing through all the logs, but I will be checking all the configuration files. So let me scroll up. It is too much, but not too much. Here we are. So we can see container register.conf, then we have this, getting this proxy. Okay, I can pass through and I can see this is not what I'm looking for. Eventually, I heard Wally saying something about rhsm.conf, but I'm not sure where this file is. And can this command eventually help me? Definitely yes, because this will be looking for all the proxy. And again, here we have the file, specifically the file. See proxy ansible.env, we have some additional information here. Settings, Grafana, module, Java, like PCP, PMCD, pmcd.conf. We have this configuration, but this is not what I'm looking for. Anyway, you got the point, because this will eventually bring back a lot of information like this. But yeah, there you go. rhsm.conf, proxy host name, proxy schema, user, password, and eventually port. So let's suppose that the proxy is not working, or the machine is not to work as expected, and this was caused by the proxy. And then there you go. You have now proxy here. This information is failing. Let me change this one a little bit and show you a nice example. rhsm.conf. I have this proxy 10. Like this is fake, but let's assume that this information is coming from the customer. And whenever I try to restore that machine, the machine is failing. And then I execute like one additional command called strace. Strace is amazing for troubleshooting. Let me know down below in the comments if you like to see a video here about strace. But with strace, we can see, in fact, what's going on under the hood very, very deeply. And with strace, I was able to see this machine is trying to hit like 10 whenever I try to do the registration, and never ends, because this 10 is not reachable. It is not a machine, and I have no idea where is this coming from. So I can do something like this, like grep 10, and there you go. Look at that beauty. Whenever we see situations like this, I see my machine try to access one specific IP address, but this is out of my range. No one knows what is this machine. Okay, how can I see this easily? I can definitely use the grep-r and search by some specific pattern or some specific information, and then there you go. And now I know the proxy is here. I can go to you and say, hey, do you know this machine? 10, and you say, nope, I have no idea. Okay, now the fix will be go to this file, find the proxy entry, just get rid of it and try again. And definitely this is going to help. Eventually this is going to fix the problem, or if this was part of the problem, you will come up with a new problem, or your customer will come up with a new problem, and then we can do this back and forth just to see what's going on. Another nice information about SOSReport is this. Multiple times I request a fresh SOS report. And why is that? As you can see, SOSReport is a snapshot of your system. So if you proceed with some change in your system, I'm unaware because I have an old snapshot. So whenever I'm going to move further, I need a fresh SOS report just to do the same analysis we are doing here. And then I will see, or I will say for sure, okay, this is still in this configuration changed. So the behavior is expected to change because of that configuration, this kind of stuff. So don't get mad if someone is asking you multiple SOS reports. This is the main reason, okay? All right, to sum up, let me show one more thing here. Yes, this is all the processes that are running in this machine. So from here, definitely we can see if in this machine we have some third-party application, agents, the users that are running, how memory each one is consuming. We can see by the RSS, the process, the command, the time this is spanning or running. So yeah, we can see a lot over here. Let's see also the PS3. I can see the process in the tree structure or tree formats, the process and also the PID, which is pretty useful. Eventually, I need to do some troubleshooting, and this helped me to understand better what's going on, which process is underneath which process, like parent and child or children, this kind of stuff. All right, I believe that's it for now. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions about SOSReport, how this works, some information. Let me give you this one more, DF. In general, we don't see DF like this. We see a DF something like this, or eventually just DF like this. But the DF that you see on SOSReport, the output is DF-A. See, this is a complete output. And why is that? This is important because we can see some hidden file systems and the type, the usage, the disk layout, how many is in use, how many is available, the percentage of usage, and where this is mounted. So definitely this is gorgeous. This is amazing because this is very helpful. And remember, I told you before, let's suppose that this machine, I'm facing problem with my file system. I have no more disk. I have no more available area. Let's suppose this is 100%. Right now, there is no available space. And here I can see, and I can say for sure, I'm not using this home. Basically not. So one thing that I can do is I can resize this one, or eventually I can get rid of this home and I can move this storage to my home file system. So again, it is a combination of different files plus your analysis, but the main goal of this video was to show how I work with SOSReport. Eventually, to complement this one, I can tell you for sure, we have some scripts that will parse SOSReport and will provide some information already that we need, because I don't need to be doing all the awk and cut and grep and this kind of stuff again and again and again. So we have some parses that we just say, hey, analyze this SOSReport, and then we have some information post-processed, and then we can just move it on in this path. But the beauty is understand, like, what is the source? This is the source. How can I see the information? Like, we are just skipping this automation, understanding the base, the source, and see how this information is getting to us. Another important information here, let me show this one, install RPM. So we can see this is underneath SOS command, RPM, and then this log one. And those are the flags just to help us understand how we are getting this information. But if we take a look on this install RPM, look at that. We have the package name and the date that this package was installed. So if you ask me how many packages this machine has installed, so install package, 1,298 packets. Is this a satellite? Install package. Yes, I can see this is a satellite and the version is 6.17.02. And this is also running on top of Enterprise Linux 9. So this kind of stuff, I can see also kernel. So we can see the kernel version, and then I can match with different files here. For example, uname, and then I can see the version of the kernel specifically, 5.14.0.503, 41, this guy, EL95, 8664. This is the kernel in question that we are using right now. This one here, we are not using. So this is the current one, and we can see this is the current one. So if you ask me, okay, based on the installed package, can I confirm this is the one or this one? No, I cannot. I can guess, but during the troubleshooting process, one thing that I learned long ago, and one thing that I share all the time is avoid guessing at all costs. So you have this information. I have two kernels, two different versions. Which one? Let me get another information, another fact that will help me to remove this guessing. This file is good because now I can see in the time that this SOSReport was generated, this was the kernel. So now I'm sure this is the kernel, and definitely I can get rid of this package. Assuming that I have some problems with my /boot file system, let's suppose that that storage is full, I need to get some space, I can get rid of this file. See, it is most a combination of files plus facts plus knowledge, because with the time, whenever you know more your structure, whenever you know more the system, you can combine all this knowledge, all this information, and you can get some conclusions like this. This is the main point, and this is the beauty. Because of that, I love this game. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to join us in our Discord channel. If you enjoyed SOSReport, let me know down below. If you have additional questions, concerns, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll be more than glad to help you with. All right? So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.